Starting lineup: Eloy, Amumu, Aurora, Jinx, Vel'Koz up against Garen, Nocturne, Yasuo, Tristana, Morgana. Rating of the picks for a lower ranked game: Eloy as a top, 10, Amumu in the jungle, 9, Aurora as a mid, 6, Vel'Koz in support, 3, Garen as a top, 8, Nocturne in the jungle, 10, Yasuo as a mid, 9, Tristana as a shooter, 10, Morgana in support, 8. Here in this game, we're gonna have this Tristana hopping around like she's on drugs. We have this beautiful little standoff here between these two junglers to see who gets it first. And we're gonna have the support supporting, and this mid being mid. Moving on. You start off with Escapable, Ambush, Nocturne, most likely the best all-around jungler from a pure, boring, statistical standpoint across the entire board, meaning that he's also simplistic. I have this Eloy asking Amumu WTF, but intervening in such things is not really Amumu's thing as a champ. Eventually the support is going to go deeper in. We get a stun effect from Morgana. We have Amumu chasing Nocturne with a long cooldown. We have this Aurora missing a skill shot. League has been updated a couple of times. We've received a couple of new packs and patches. So far, I'm getting the impression that something has changed in the way that they give people turret kills, and I'm not really liking the new system. Eventually, we'll be able to tell whether this is actually a new way of looking at turrets. Aurora as a whole, a lot of that brick in the wall stuff, a lot of that Rihanna, I am from the hood too stuff, blind conformism, and what the actual value is for an ordinary player in Aurora, I don't know, but I don't think that it's much. Really a kit designed for the best of the best in all-out team fights. Aurora probably the king of all-around illegitimate stat padding. The KDA always looks a lot better than the actual in-game presence on Aurora. We're gonna have Mumu coming down river and initiating with the mummy wrap. Aurora is going to chase and offer some kind of magic damage. The Vel'Koz, who is supposed to be playing support, tries to kill snipe. Pretty much the only thing that he's done in this game. Unfortunately for him, Vel'Koz is not a great kill sniper. Not an atrocious one, just not a great one. We have me frantically hovering back and forth because with a lineup like this, I'm essentially playing Darius. Meaning, this type of team really requires me to go out and support myself, which Jinx is horrendous at. She is extremely weak early game, probably in the top 5 weakest champions early game. And so, because of this superior mob mentality and pseudo-logic, we end up in a position where I cannot really guarantee you anything without dying. Because essentially, if you wanted to engage in this way, you should have lined up in shooter slots, which apparently you had some kind of revolutionary idea in mind in terms of changing game dynamics, which apparently involves robbing the shooter and the ADC of any kind of support. And the end result is that you have just besieged one of the wheels on your wagon. The wagon becomes unstable or difficult to maneuver. It could tilt or tip over, making it harder to continue moving. without repairing the wheel. If the wheel is completely broken, the wagon might stop moving entirely. More jungle action. Yasuo outside of a lane because you have over 30 mastery, so let's go. This Amumu a lot of common sense. And he understands that Amumu is not the kind of jungler who is going to speed kill this Drake. At least initially, and then he inexplicably goes back to it. Which I would have never done myself, but it ends up working out. Eventually this Vel'Koz, with a deeply tactical move, going to position himself in the middle of the river and then wait until Morgana and Tristana come to him, and then he's gonna rely on Jinx to get away so that I can be his shield and his protection. Got Morgana constantly being held by that soul siphon, the passive that allows her to heal herself for a portion of the damage dealt by her abilities. Morgana heals back up for 12% of the damage that she deals. You have that incredibly iconic Dark Binding. Her first spell, single target skill shot, roots the first enemy it hits for a duration, preventing them from moving and dealing magic damage. One of the most frustrating things for enemies, and known as a game changer. Morgana, perhaps the easiest mage to play, and probably one of the 5 best champions for casuals. The main thing that I know Morgana from is as a point of reference of how clownish, comical, and wacky the average player's bans are. Have no idea whatsoever what you are thinking as a mage if you don't have Morgana banned to counter the enemy team. Probably so far the single best illustration as to why such large groups of people never get out of Iron. 1 out of 20 groups bans Morgana. That is patently insane, and that is that. Favorite play and most game deciding play. Tristana down the lane and Morgana shows up. Peripherally, Vel'Koz sees I'm wounded. Tristana is at this point 3 kills up with more weapons on a superb, remarkable level of consistency in filth without limits. This support player at max life is going to make the decision to chase the kill up the lane, leave me for dead. I survive because I have thorn mail on because my brain is bigger than yours. There's some other parts of me that are also bigger than yours. I'm going to do everything in my power to get as far away from this Vel'Koz man bitch as I can. After which, at some point, the boy will pathetically follow me and get 1 more kill snipe in. But yeah, come heaven or hell, not that many ways to trigger me. Losing, you can't do it. Beating me in a game, you can't do it. Outclassing me, you can't do it. Lying to me, you can't do it. But one thing that will probably trigger me is complete, boundless lack of shame. We're the hip-hop street gang, so we're speaking Little Lovely, Lil Wayne, Lil Lovely. We're gonna have a bit of a ping crisis after I choose to absolutely unapologetically abandon this Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz gonna take the high road and naturally completely abandon the bottom lane himself. This little girl taking to the pings. This Vel'Koz gonna end up making a tactical move on these 3 reds in this Yasuo, Tristana, and Morgana. This Vel'Koz a bit of a walking contradiction in these plays, meaning there is objectively no way for you to support me, but then simultaneously somehow you cannot function without me as you keep following me around. Which I guess, I don't know, would make you a parasite? I don't know what to call that. Eventually, up top, against Garen and Morgana, a bit of interesting theater ends up unfolding in the constant presence of this Aurora. Furious, I seem to recall seconds ago that we had a ping crisis because what was I thinking, having the audacity coming to somebody else's lane at 15-16 minutes in. I was an inhumane beast because I came to your lane and you had to ping it. And now suddenly you seem to be in this guy's lane. Interesting how that happens. So you're kill stealing in their lane, that's totally fine. I come over to the mid lane and that's a crime. Interesting mentality, interesting mindset. It's gotta be hell in your little head. You end up with this kerfuffle in the mid lane, where this Vel'Koz is going to attempt a couple of kill steals. You have this Eloy tanking very reliably, and also not really stepping out of the boundaries of what it means to be a tank. Not trying to be something that he's not. In the long run, you have this Aurora who's going to pounce on Nocturne and showcase some of that teenage girl charm. If I had to look at the synergy between the champs on these teams, you would have to say Team Blue, a B, verging on an A. You have these very responsible picks in Eloy and a Mumu, dramatically increasing the overall synergy, and providing a solid front line which so many teams are missing. When we're looking at the synergy between Team Red, we would have to say an A. You have this superstar caster, Morgana. You have one of the deadliest, if not the deadliest shooter in the entire game in Tristana. You have this unbreakable wall in Yasuo. You have the most overall commendable jungler in Nocturne. You have the steady, reliable Garen. This Team Red is a team of superstar picks. This is an example of exactly how you should put a team together. And I would love to switch places with this Tristana player. And we could be very successful. Let's have a look at these individuals. Let's have a look at how they interact with each other. This Eloy, an A, you got robbed in this game. You got cheated in this game. You deserve to win this game and you could have won this game. You did everything that a tank should do and you didn't step outside of those boundaries. We have this Amumu, an A. You appear to be emotionally detached from the disaster that this team was. It was very remarkable that at no point you complained, even though you consistently set up beautiful opportunities for other players and your teammates just never really came through for you and just left you to die. An Amumu is to some degree a lot like a Rel or a Scion. You largely rely on when you go in, others going in with you, because you yourself don't have wild firepower. And once you're in, you can't get out anymore. This social justice aware hip-hopper, Lil Lovely, aka Lil Juicy, aka Lil Rob Your Housey, Team Wrecker, embodiment of contradiction. You say don't go left, and you get a crisis about it, and then the first thing you do is start going left yourself. You're a bully, a cheap, feminized bully. We have this Vel'Koz player. What do you get out of this? I'll show you how to fix this. First pick, mid lane. If you get it, you go Vel'Koz. Second pick, second preference, top lane. If you get it, you go Darius. Bam. Problem solved. Why is this necessary? There is not a bone in your body that wants to support me. We really live in the era of the ultimate celebration of the passive-aggressive, do we not? I mean, think about how toxic this really is. We know in advance that a character like Jinx, or a character like Kaisa, or a character like Kog'Maw cannot properly function without a support. And they're literally designed to be too frail and too weak to survive on their own. Why should I just have to deal with the full fallout of that? You get a C, you try to lose this game and you successfully lost this game. We have this Garen, a B, a 10 out of 10 skin on this player. I may end up having to get that skin myself. Truly remarkable. I do kind of wonder at some point when they're gonna show some of the other champs this amount of love. I know that there is a large Garen fan base, but is the difference between the Garen fan base size and the rest really so enormous that we have to pour every bit of fancy skin development purely into Garen? Because it really seems very one-sided. Clearly more of an ideological than a capitalist or financial decision in going balls to the wall on Garen skins. You were highly functional from a tactical standpoint, but you had a yap from here to Tokyo. Just way too verbal in this game, way too loud, way too loud. Definitely loud in a dysfunctional manner. We have this Nocturne, AC, Team Wrecker, toxic, my greatest hope of winning this game. This was a person looking to bully his own teammates. This was a person looking for confrontation more than to play the game. We have this Yasuo player, an A. The only bad thing that I can say about this Yasuo was that he went into the jungle too many times. It's always the same. It's really such a frustrating thing to look at, how the one guy who has no capacity to thrive or build up his combo in the jungle then somehow has to end up going to the jungle. There's so many mids who would never touch the jungle, like Ahri, who could actually thrive. With her ult, she could very easily pass through jungle walls, chase down enemies, set up kills, but you never see Ahri go into the jungle, or Ahri leave her lane. But then, a champ like Yasuo, who really has a very limited kit outside of his lane, somehow insists on always leaving his lane. Other than that, just a dream player. We have this Tristana, a B. Selfish, but very good. Definitely a winning player. Interesting build as well. We have this Morgana, a B. Definitely a bit too loud early on. A lot of ego. A lot of ego, but a lot of winning plays from this Morgana as well. That deeply passive-aggressive nature that overshadows this entire thing, and just so indicative of why these kinds of things keep happening and the rat race out of iron never stops. Conclusion is that the shooter who had no setup guy whatsoever and ended up going 4-2 on a team that completely fell apart, which for my position shooter, KDA actually does matter a lot. It matters a lot more than for supports or for junglers or for top. For the shooter position, a large part of the story is purely the kills and the deaths. And so you can tell that I did well, and yet somehow the blame is clearly on a moral level placed with me. You see that very clearly. Oh, why can't we mix the high security prisoners with the low security prisoners? Kind of chick think. Why can't we let the super frail boy on the football team as well and give him a medal as well? Type of chick think. In that same way, passive-aggressive thought pattern. Oh, why can't we have Velcos as a support? Let's be flexible about this. Let's just include everybody. Let's not be strict. Let's do these things that will never work, and then it will have to be other people who deal with the fallout. It will be other people who have to fix the problems, other people who have to come forward with a solution after we screwed everything up and gave it all away. And it's all self-inflicted. These same people will end up in similar groups tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. And they will just say, well, I mean, if this doesn't work, then it must be the fault of the guy with the best KDA. If this doesn't work, then it must be the fault of the person with the most mechanical skill, who is shaming us on the scoreboard. And so the blame just gets put with me. And I get blamed for this entire downfall. And there will be no structural changes. And you will use the same exact model again, and again, and again, and again. And of course, it cannot work. And so you will end up with the same exact results. And just end up bending over to whatever team gets their shit together and works with Rel or Yasuo or Leona and has a real lineup. Taking a look at the scoreboard here, what are you supporting? The point of popping the ultimate is to engage in team fights. In what team fights did you actively engage? Cannot use it as single target damage. A Mumu's damage is calibrated based on his total health. For Yone and Yasuo you have no choice, you have to go attack speed, because it doubles for abilities. For Mundo and Amumu you have no choice, you have to go health, because it doubles for damage. We see here the only time that she went down was in a 1v1 against me. You see how these swampy spots adjacent to the grubs just serve as a kind of death funnel for teams with a functional structure that can pick you off at range. The more you die, the more you fill up the enemy coffers. Moving on.
I'm crazy. Got a doctor's note.
Minions have spawned.
Aw, come on. What's the worst that could happen? the best intentions. Such a loser. Always ready to try.
An enemy has been slain.
Anyone ever tell you you're a little clingy? No. Let's just say. Wait, I'm thinking. Do this. Hold on. I'm about to do something really cool. All part of the plan. Feel it from yourself. Jinx? Stands for Jinx. Now where was I? Oh, right. You can have it. I don't even think once about blowing stuff up.
Ally has been slain. Ally has been slain.
What if I had a gun that shot other guns?
An enemy has been slain.
I'm crazy. Got a doctor's note. Come on. What's the worst that could happen? Everybody
Killing spree. Rampage.
Whatever, let's just keep shooting. Eyes unclouded.
Enemy killing spree.
You think I'm crazy? You should see my sister.
An ally has been slain.
Ask me if I'm listening. Hint, I'm not! I really need a new gun. But don't tell my other guns. Who needs breathing? Double time!
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
41, 9, and lift off!
Turret plating will fall soon. Shut down. Has been slain.
She's such a loser. Always ready to cry.
An ally has been slain.
I'm trying to care, but I just can't.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Let's just behave. Say no one. You thinking?
turret has been destroyed.
Ask me if I'm listening. Hint, I'm not. Beautiful, isn't it? I really need a new gun.
Has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Enemy double kill. Aced. Rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.